today on 2+U Nevada.
In the past year, we have grown our team, we've grown our programs, and it's because there is such a significant need. And the best part is, at the heart of everything we do with the RennerVations Foundation is collaboration.
Ensuring the most vulnerable youth in our community are feeling the love. How the RennerVations Foundation works with partners across the state for foster youth in Nevada. A creative dad ditches his lazy flannel Halloween costume and crafts an impressive and sustainable troll for Friday's fun. You won't believe how long this ensemble took him to make. Plus,
we work with the landscape of the park, and we bring over 46 lantern groups this year, and that's over 1,000 or tens of thousands elements we're talking about.
This 3-day weekend is a great opportunity to head out to the Odyssey of Waves and Woods. Be on notice. The hours of Dragon Lights Reno change Sunday night. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Wait until you see that Halloween costume that creative dad made. I cannot get over how much work he put into it. Now, just so you all know, remember last week how I mentioned I started Zach's toothless dragon wings? I'm still working on that darn costume. My goal is to finish it tonight, and we'll see. A couple of reminders right now out of the gate. If you plan on traveling for the holidays, the experts say to get your flu shot by this week. It will help you with peak immunity around the holidays. Another reminder, this weekend is also the time to fall back. Before you go to bed Saturday night, turn those clocks back an hour. Now, parents of littles, I know this doesn't mean you'll get to sleep in, as nobody tells the kids' internal clock that they can sleep in. But for those of you out there with that luxury of being able to get that extra hour of sleep, we are jealous, and we wish you an amazing, happy, dream-filled slumber. We have a great show for you today. We do want to remind you that we will be running our final part of our series with the Domestic Violence Resource Center, as this is the last week of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So trigger warning for anyone at home. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. Watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Valeria Koss, the executive director, and Tessa Peretti, the program coordinator of RennerVations Foundation. And of course, this foundation has a very popular founder here locally. Jeremy Renner started up the RennerVations Foundation, but you guys do so much for the children and youth of Nevada. So first, Valeria, you've really grown this foundation since you started earlier this year. Talk about your growth of the RennerVations Foundation in this calendar year.
So honestly, yes, we have an incredible founder, Jeremy Renner, and our co-founder, Kim Renner, who is his sister and a deputy director in Los Angeles County in child welfare. So honestly, in the past year, we have grown our team, we've grown our programs, and it's because there is such a significant need. And the best part is, at the heart of everything we do with the RennerVations Foundation is collaboration. So we get to embrace every community organization to really ensure that we are able to provide services and support to our foster and at-risk youth throughout the entire state of Nevada.
It really is cool to see all the new programs that you're adding to, Tessa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Pave Your Way program is the one that I coordinate, and I get to do case management for it as well. So I work with anywhere between ages 16 to 24 in foster care, whether they've aged out, they're actively in care, to provide them case management support, education and career support, finding apprenticeships, jobs, so many different things, especially aging out of the system. There's not much support out there for them that people might think that there is. So we, especially for Pave Your Way, we love to step in and be that support. And then last week we just launched the housing portion of it. So we were able to get 4 of my kiddos on my caseload, well, young adults on my caseload, into their own 1-bedroom apartments, which was super cool.
Oh, that's gotta feel so fantastic for you to see these clients or these kids that you're helping, grow up.
Yeah, it was super. I mean, it was very emotional, heartwarming, really fun thing that we got to do. And it's really cool to now see them. I get to see them every week and work with them on all their other stuff, but to see them even in the small time that they've been in their apartments already, watching that growth is really awesome.
And Valeria, breaking down the numbers, can you tell us how many Washoe County foster youth you help and then statewide?
So honestly, we serve hundreds in Washoe County alone. Christmas on the Comstock is a great example. We are anticipating serving at least 400 youth and teens in that one event, which doesn't even begin to encompass all of our other programs like Pave Your Way and our camps. And so honestly, throughout the state, we can serve over 1,000 because we also have events that are happening in Clark County, and we reach out to the rural community because we want to make sure that every youth and teen that has lived experience in foster care knows that the RennerVation Foundation and our collaborative partners are here to offer community and a sense of support.
And really delve deeper into that community and sense of support, because I think people at home will hear RennerVation Foundation helping foster youth. But you're doing so much more than that. You're educating them, you're supporting them, you're providing. So give me some nitty gritty.
Oh, I love to get down to the nitty gritty. So let's talk about that, especially the collaborative partner piece. This work is too big to do alone. And so we have such incredible partners, everyone from Truckee Meadows Community College to University of Nevada, Reno. They are there every step of the way. Washoe County School District, as well as boosted diplomas to help if they need tutoring and after-school support. Then we just continue to expand and grow, because when there's a need identified, it doesn't mean that we necessarily need to do all of the things all of the time. We have the right partners to go out to. If you look at our Pave Your Way program, so we have scattered site model, and those are 4 apartments that have their own address, and they're scattered across some beautiful parts of Reno. But the Eddy House is another phenomenal partner where they have their 36-unit transitional housing, because we understand that some of our clients are not ready to be fully independent. So that's what I mean when we're doing collaborative partnership work. No one should feel like it should just be their name. It should be all of us together, working together.
I love this. And what I also really love is it seems like a lot of the foster youth who are older foster youth get overlooked and are underserved.
Yeah.
And so you are helping those older foster youth learn life skills and provide them the community that they might otherwise be lacking.
Yeah, they, when they age out of the system at 18 years old, they typically are out on their own, which even if you have an upbringing where you have a lot of support and you have everything that you need, when you're 18 years old, it's really unfair to have anybody, to expect anyone to have everything figured out. I know I definitely didn't have it figured out when I was 18, and I had an amazing family that supported me. So we really love, very passionate about stepping in to be that help to fill that gap that there is in the community.
So for anyone who wants to help the RennerVation Foundation and help the foster youth in Nevada, where do they go? How do they get a hold of you?
So honestly, you can go to our website, RennerVationFoundation.org. Yes, it's a mouthful. So we'll make sure to share more information on that. And honestly, to be able to continue to do these programs and services, being able to have donors that want to step up, and you can give where you're at. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars unless you're in a place to do that. It can be a simple $10 to $15 donation, and that makes such a huge impact in the services that we can continue to provide.
Ladies, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. With joining us again this afternoon, Tom McDonald with Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. Tom, thank you. You're continuing a discussion that we've had regarding reverse mortgages.
Correct.
And we're going to be talking today with a case study utilizing a home equity conversion mortgage. So kind of tell folks at home what we're talking about.
Well, the reverse mortgage, this particular one that we're going to use is an FHA insured reverse mortgage. It has a line of credit option we're going to have a couple that don't need a reverse mortgage now, but they're thinking long-term, and I'm going to show how that might be advantageous instead of, say, long-term care, which, you know, if they're in the 60s or 70s, it's hard to get and then very expensive.
Right.
But a large percent of the population over 60, something over 50%, there's a bigger number than that, are going to need some form of long-term care in their future.
And we're talking about a couple, again, this is just a case study of Jack and Jill. They're in their 60s and they do have a retirement. They also have a home that is paid for. They have no mortgage. They're not making monthly payments.
Right.
So let's talk about Jack and Jill. In this situation, they may not have planned for, let's say, excessive healthcare costs of maybe $10,000 a month.
That's what is running now in many places. I'm not exactly sure what it is currently, but
That's a sizable
I know
amount.
that when my mom was needing care, that's what we were paying.
All right. So with that, walk us through this case study. Their home is valued at $700,000.
Right? They're currently 70 years of age, both of them, Jack and Jill. They looked into long-term care, but they decided that, for starters, there's a number of limitations. You have to meet certain guidelines. And the reverse mortgage doesn't have restrictions. Once you start using it, you can use it for whatever you need in whatever form that you want to do. Their $700,000 house, they're going to get roughly, I think, $200,000 is what we calculated. Now, that doesn't seem like very much. Remember, it's just a mortgage. You're not giving up the home. So it's just a lien on the home. On a regular mortgage, you might get 80%. You're going to put 20% down perhaps. But on the reverse mortgage, because you're not making monthly mortgage payments, that balance is going to be growing over time. The interest gets added all the time. So that balance goes up. And so that's why that, what we call loan to value, how much you get versus the value of the home, isn't as much as you might expect. So
It sounds scary, but also we have to think that while the balance is going up, it is quite possible that the value of the home is also
that's fairly typical. They kind of look like that, except that 2008 time period. You know, things happen. But there is insurance to cover issues like that. So the borrower never has to make up the shortage. Neither they nor their heirs make up a shortage. The FHA insurance takes care of a shortage if there's a shortage. Most of the time, there's equity left over.
Wow. Okay. So with this example, their $700,000 value on a home with no mortgage. They have no immediate need today, but they've heard of this strategy. And 10 years later, Jack needs $10,000 a month for long-term care. So they initiate the term disbursements with enough funds to last just shy of 5 years.
Right, that's what they thought they would need.
Okay.
It may be, sadly, Jack might pass away in 2 years, so they don't need it for all that time. But that's what they set it up for. So if you see the graphic, you can see that big, what looks like a mountain. That's the line of credit growing over time. It grows at the same interest rate we're charging the borrower. Now, where it peaks is when Jack starts taking funds out at $10,000 a month, which is $120,000 a year. A lot of money. Remember, they have a retirement plan for their normal expenses, but there likely isn't enough to cover expenses like this. This is where the reverse mortgage and the line of credit option comes in. So now he's taking $120,000 a year. You can see in the second year, that taller green bar, that's the accumulation of 2 years, 240, all the way out to that fifth bar. And now at the end of 5 years, sadly, Jack does pass away. Okay. But at that point in time, Jill still has their retirement plan. They haven't dipped into it for all of Jack's extra expenses. And so now she can live out her life on their plan, on what they figured they could do.
With 1 minute left, and all of us think about our parents and as they're aging, and we want them to stay in their homes. But in this hypothetical situation, Jack passed away. What if Jill wants to downsize? Then what happens? And we have about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Again, it's just the mortgage. She owns the home. So she's going to sell the home. There's likely still to have equity in the home. So just like any other mortgage, put it on the market, gets sold. The seller puts money into escrow. The escrow officer pays off the mortgage and gives Jill what's left over.
Awesome. Tom, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Tom McDonald with Mutual of Omaha Mortgage. His number is there on your screen. So if you have any questions about reverse mortgages and strategies surrounding that, give Tom a call. You're watching 2+U Nevada.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have these well-behaved guests in our studios today. Yes, I am talking about Denise and Rebecca from Guide Dogs for the Blind. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. You are both volunteers. You're puppy raisers for Guide Dogs for the Blind. Now, what I love about this is you are a 501c3 and you foster these dogs that will then go and be formally trained. Kind of talk to me about the process.
Well, the process, we get the puppies when they're anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks of age. They're bundles of joy. They don't even know their names yet. They have no whatsoever training as far as that goes. They do get some loving at the facility where they're born, with handling with puppies and stuff like that, with humans. We receive them. Once we receive them, they start learning different things. Like we teach them house manners, so they're not jumping on people, not getting up on the furniture. They are given obedience training, so they get all their commands, and they get plenty of socialization. So when we go out into the world, we put on their jackets so that people understand that they are working dogs, and that they can go anywhere that we go, and they get that socialization so that they get different environments and abilities and stuff like that, so that then when they do get their person, they're not skittish.
Right. And Rebecca, I can tell that your pup is a real pup because your pup's wearing a diaper.
She's gone into season.
Oh.
So, yeah, I wish it was just that, but no.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, that's insert open mouth, insert foot on my part. Because no lady likes to talk about that.
Exactly.
But Rebecca, what is the etiquette for when people see guide dogs out and about in their jackets?
Well, we would hope that they would just give a little friendly hello and not attack them, because they're so cute. Mm-hmm. You know, people really want to rub on them and love them, and we let them sometimes when they are working a certain behavior out in public. But yeah, we just like people to adore them with their eyes. Try not to make eye contact for the little ones because they go, "Oh, a friend."
Right.
But yes, we
And then they all looked to be the same breed. Do you always have the same type of breed for these guide dogs for the blind?
Well, they range from usually the Labrador Retrievers and the Golden Retrievers, and then a mix of the two.
Okay. And Denise, how long? What's the next step? You raise them to what age, and then what happens?
We keep them until Guide Dogs recalls them or wants them back on campus for their formal training, which can be anywhere from the 14th to 18th month of their age. Once they go back, if they're a female, they're on breeder watch, so they'll go back and be evaluated to become a breeder if they're not spaded beforehand. And then if they decide not to breed them, then they will spade them and then they will put them into training. The training lasts anywhere from 3 to 6 months of intensive everyday work. And then they are given to their forever person, and that person is brought onto campus, and they work with the dog for 2 weeks. And then as puppy raisers, we get notified that they're in class and that they will be graduating on this date. And then we get to go back to the graduation, graduate the puppy and the person, and send them on their way.
Oh my gosh, what does that feel like? Knowing that, because I had a vision impaired family member, and what does it feel like to give a person their independence?
That's a wonderful feeling.
It is. It's absolutely amazing. I have 6 puppies that are working throughout the country, and it's very emotional. It's extremely emotional ceremony. You're crying, your tears of joy, tears of sorrow, because you're actually never going to see that puppy again unless that person keeps you in their loop.
Mm-hmm. You guys are a 501c3, and Do you need volunteers? Do you need donations? Talk to me about what people can do to help place these beautiful animals with their forever person.
Well, we would love to have volunteers come to either be puppy sitters to give us puppy raisers a break every now and then, or to become an actual puppy raiser. But as a puppy raiser, you have to be willing to give the dog away, give it up.
And I'd imagine there would be intense training for the puppy raiser as well to make sure that the puppy raiser is raising the puppy according to a specific standard, because like my dogs, that they don't behave. So there's no, I would need training to be able to train the dog.
Yes, we do. Yeah, guide dogs gives us a lot of training, and our local puppy club, the Reno Puppy Raisers, we do activities and training sessions. Our meetings are really fun. So usually an activity, and dogs are everywhere performing, and yeah, we get a lot of training. Guide Dogs is very supportive.
How do people reach out to you guys to donate or to become a volunteer?
They can reach out to us through guidedogs.com. They'll fill out a request form, and then if they're interested in either becoming a puppy raiser or puppy sitter, that form will come to me, and I will contact you and let you know what's going on.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. Oh, and we didn't get all their names, so let's just get their names quickly before we go to break.
This is Georgie, and she's 8 months old.
Okay.
This is Viv, and she's 7 months old, and this is Nasani, and she's a year.
I love it. Girls, thank you for being such good girls. Yeah. All 5 of you.
Thank you.
You're watching 2 Plus U Nevada. You are watching 2 Plus U Nevada, and this afternoon we are joined by Vicki Taylor and Joan Bowman of Paws for Love. Most importantly, we have Cody here. You are being such a good boy, Cody. Oh, those eyes. Yes. Thank you both. Thank you all for joining us here today. You know, we were so excited to have you on. First of all, because there's something so joyous about having a dog walk the halls of a business.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got started. I love that the program actually started with children and literacy.
So Paws for Love was formed in 1997, and at that time our main program was Paws to Read. So Paws to Read, we serve the 8 main libraries in the county once a month on a fixed schedule. We provide a little library of books, and children who read to the dog then get to select a book to take home and build their own personal library. So that was our very first program.
And Joan, I absolutely love that, because as a mom of 2 elementary age kids, they get intimidated when it comes to reading out loud. And how is it, Vicki, Cody goes to the downtown library every month, right?
Yes, and the Northwest.
And the Northwest Library. What do you see when the children read aloud to Cody?
They're wonderful. Some kids come in and they're afraid of dogs, and by the end of the time they leave, you know, they'll be petting them, which is always amazing. But they sit and they sometimes put their arm around them while they're reading, or they're petting their legs. It's very cute.
And Cody is such a good boy.
Yes.
Let's also talk about some other programs that you had. Paws on campus. And what I love, Joan, is you were just explaining to me that if there is an urgent need, you also have a crisis response team.
That's correct. So we have a memorandum of agreement with the Washoe County School District and the counseling department. So we serve their mental health needs as a complement to the things that the counselors do. And if there's a death of a staff or a student and they need our dogs, then they call us out, and we come in and we serve those schools for as many hours or days as is needed. And then in more general, we serve the school district again with their mental health needs at exam time or other, you know, the start of school, the end of school. We also have an agreement with Truckee Meadows Community College, and we serve them during their summer bridge program or on a regular schedule again throughout the school year. And then sometimes we have special invitations from professors or student groups at UNR, and we go up and serve those groups as well.
The crisis response team, how much notice are you given? And what's that team look like?
So we might get a call the night before saying that You've had an unfortunate incident. Can you dispatch some dogs? So we look at what part of town that's in and which of our team members are located nearest to that area. So that is one of our factors. We also look at who's most recently been called out and then try to call other people. We probably, Vicki, have about 20 to 30 people on the team?
Yes.
And so we rotate through those people. The notice is short, so to be on the team, you have to be flexible with your time. You have to be good with emotional situations. Your dog has to be good with emotions, and tight quarters. Sometimes we're in a classroom as they're breaking the news. Other times we are in the counseling office as students are coming down to process those feelings or write cards. So you have to be flexible. You have to be good with intense emotions. You have to be able to dispatch pretty quickly.
And Vicki, you are the membership chair of Paws for Love.
Yes.
So obviously you're seeking volunteers. And what kind of animals do you need? What does the temperament have to be? I mean, I'm looking at Cody here, and he is absolutely amazing. He's had half a dozen people just run up to him in the time that he's been walking through the building.
He's used to that. Sometimes if he goes into a school, he'll be surrounded by kids. And, when he first started, he was young, so he was still a little wiggly. But everybody loved him, and he loved everybody, so it's worked out fine. The most important thing, obviously, is their temperament. And a lot of dogs can do this. The biggest thing is that the owner has to have time to volunteer in the community. So that's, so a lot of people could, do this.
We're looking for calm dogs who like interacting with people and aren't upset if they're in close proximity to another dog or wanting to play. So their focus needs to be on people. But, any calm dog with basic good manners, they know to sit, they know to lie down, they can walk nicely on a leash. We want them.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, where are you going, bud? Where are you going,
When you
Cody?
said we want them, he's going someplace.
When it comes to people who want to volunteer and have their dogs participating, how do they reach out to you?
They can reach out through our website, pawsforlovereno.org. They can look at become a member. All dogs first must be certified by a national organization. So most of our dogs come from the Alliance of Therapy Dogs. There's a series of tests the dog and the handler must go through looking at that partnership. But it's a handling test where they'll touch the dog all over and be a little bit rough to be sure the dog accepts that. And then there's 3 to 4 observations on site in a medical facility or someplace else where we're just looking at the dog's willingness to engage. We're looking at the social aspects of the human. Are they willing to engage as well? So just those calm social dogs, it's not hard to pass. The vet has to sign off annually that your dog is healthy and able to do the task.
Wonderful, ladies. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Cody, thank you for being such a good boy. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada. So excited to be here at the beautiful Dragon Lights Reno with Hoi-Yen Liu, the event manager for Dragon Lights Reno. We are so excited to have you back in our community.
Thank you. So glad to be here too.
You're going to be here for more than 2 months. What is fantastic is Dragon Lights Reno is now in the fall. So when we change hours, it's getting darker earlier. Exactly. Families have a better opportunity to get their kids out, of course, before that bedtime.
Yes. Yeah. We start at 6 these days, so and it goes until 10 p.m.
That's fantastic. And then you told me next month when we, spring forward, fall back. So when we fall back, the hours will also adjust.
Exactly. So it changes with the daylight time changes from now until November the 1st. We're open from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then starting from November the 2nd, we'll be open from 5 to 10 p.m. because the sun sets earlier.
So Hoi-Yen, What are we seeing behind us?
This is one of my favorite scenes. It's a huge bear sleeping on a rock with all the flowers and all the elements moving as well. And if you look closer, the bear actually snores and its belly goes up and down. So it's really fun to look at.
And of course, bear in hibernation, and we are in that hibernation season right now.
Yeah, that gives the vibe of that for sure.
Absolutely, and of course the unicorns. I mean, who doesn't love the unicorn? How many light groups do you have like this here at Rancho San Rafael, Wilbur D. May Arboretum?
Yeah, so we work with the landscape of the park, and we bring over 46 lantern groups this year, and that's over 1,000 or tens of thousands elements we're talking about.
And when you're talking an element, I'm thinking one unicorn is one element, one flower or lotus is one element.
Yes.
So how many again?
I would say tens of thousands. We can't count because there's just too many of them. Like for example, in the scene behind us, there's so many flowers and the horse and the unicorn and the birds, all the animals. This alone can be over 100 already. So, and then we're talking about 60 more, 60 group more. Yeah.
Fascinating. Rarely each year do you see the same exhibit over and over. Here at Reno, at the Wilbur D. May Arboretum, we may only have, what is it, the Dragon Tunnel?
Yeah, so every year we actually bring over 100% new displays. And even for the dragon is very iconic in our show because it's dragon lights, but we change up the dragon every year as well. In year one, when we did it the first time in 2018, it was a 200 feet long dragon that we placed in the center lawn in the Arboretum. But then we changed to another one that's like an eternal last year. And this year it's changed again to another shape and another color. So people will be surprised when they come to see it.
You know, what's so cool about Dragon Lights Reno is you have so many different elements for different age groups and different sensory groups. What this year is good for the younger kids and what this year is good for sensory divergent families, and what should people know is the must-see this year?
That's a good question. So when we plan the show, we try to have children in mind and have like different people in mind because we try to create something for everybody. So when we're talking about younger kids, we might have them to go into the interactive playground with lots of games, and it's almost like a gym where you can exercise, so to release all the energy. And then we have a quieter space where you can just walk through in the ocean world. So it's quieter and it's a more like quiet and relaxed ambient there.
And then we're going to be on these bikes. Do these bikes, like the harder you pedal, the brighter they get? Explain that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. So it's a good exercise if you're looking for some workout.
Boy, I need that.
You pedal it and then you change color of the display or make it brighter and brighter. So it'd be fun for all ages, I would say, as long as you can bike.
Fantastic, as long as you have enough air to, get through all that.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, what is it about Reno and the Wilbur D. May Arboretum that has had you come back for so many years?
First of all, we really like the city because it's the tiniest, biggest city, and it's easier to reach the community here, I feel. So over the years, we've built a really good audience base, and we're getting more and more sponsors and partners over the years to join us in Dragon Lights. And then with the Arboretum, we see the changes here as well. They're adding more trees and plants, and that works really well with the displays because they just like integrate so like they blend in so well with the display here.
I find it so fascinating taking a look at the economic portion of Dragon Lights coming to Reno. Obviously, so many people come here for 2 months, but you are bringing people to our community. Can you speak to the number of people that come and stay in our community during the more than 2 months?
Yeah, we absolutely have a lot of people come through the show. And so last year when we changed from the summer to the fall season, we saw about over 70,000 people for the 2 months time, and a good portion of them came from out of the county and out of the state. So I'm happy to see that a lot of people are coming from afar to see the show as well.
If you're looking to get tickets, what's the website?
It'll be dragonlightsreno.org.
Thank you so much for hosting us. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and all throughout the month of October, we have been talking about domestic violence because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So trigger warning for anyone out there. However, what we are talking about today is so important. Kristen and Alyssa, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
What I'm very excited to say is that DVRC is in a phase of expansion. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing because that means that there's a need, or if that is just a sign of the times that we need a new location because you're growing so much. So, Kristen, why don't you speak to the expansion discussion?
Sure, yeah. You know, we've been feeling it for years, kind of busting at the seams and having to place people in motels, which is not a safe and secure way to handle providing domestic violence services. So we did a lot of research, and you know, to just solidify the fact that we were feeling under-resourced, is, you know, what's going on in our community. And so we realized that we only have 35 domestic violence shelter beds in our community for a community of about 500,000 people, which if you compare it to other towns, it's way less than, even Carson City has more domestic violence shelter beds than we do currently. So, you know, we embarked on this project to expand our shelter capacity and also bring those services together with our resource center so that they're not in separate locations, so that when somebody walks through our doors, they get everything they need all in one location.
And Alyssa, let's talk about this too, because my main question was, well, wait a minute, everyone will know then where your shelter is located, but that's by design.
Yeah, we've found through research that an open shelter concept reduces the feeling of isolation for survivors, a feeling that they've felt throughout being abused. And so when they come in through our doors, we want to make sure that they feel a sense of home, dignity, respect, and feel valued, that they have a sense of security in this facility. And so not only will people know more about how to access this resource by being more public facing, but survivors will feel more secure and safe in an open concept facility.
And Kristen, first of all, again, how many beds?
We currently have about 25, and we will have 100, so we're going to quadruple our capacity.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And with this shelter, what I love is that you said they will actually, yes, be out in the open, in fact, in that people will know where this shelter is, but the technology is going to keep them safe.
So where we've struggled recently is how to keep our current shelter confidential, because with tracking devices and iPhones and different things like that, it's easier to find where we are. And so we want to flip the script a little bit on technology and use technology to actually keep our clients safer. So instead of keeping individuals in a secret location, we are going to focus on safety and prioritize safety over secrecy, and security, high-tech security is a part of that.
And all of the services and the shelter will all be under one roof.
Yes.
That's fantastic. All right, Alyssa, outside of the new facility, how does the DVRC work with other organizations in our community?
So we can't do this work alone. A part of what we're doing is help build survivors' life skills and also address their immediate needs. And so within our walls, we're able to provide counseling and advocacy and help with those immediate needs. And through the longer term aspect, provide financial coaching. But we need to partner with other nonprofits such as the Children's Cabinet and the Eddy House, and also with job placement coaches. So, and bankers. We want to make sure that the full scope of the needs of a survivor are addressed, so that not only their immediate needs are met, but their long-term needs as well. And that's something we're really going to build upon in the new facility, is to expand services that survivors need by having a third-party provider office within the new facility, so people can come and provide legal services and other needs in that way. We'll have a medical office. We'll have designated spaces for teens and childcare. So we really want to encourage and continue collaboration with our partners.
In about 30 seconds or less, Kristen, please tell people why it is so important to come up with a strategic exit plan if they're trying to leave an abusive situation.
Yeah, when you're in, the crisis moment, you are not thinking to grab your important papers or your medications and things like that. And by having a plan and having maybe that set aside or copies of things, you're ready to go. And that is so important because it helps you so much to get back on your feet to have those things. And we can help you so much more too. So, come to us for a safety plan if you need it, because we'll tell you exactly kind of for your situation what you need.
And for anyone seeking help, what's the website? What's the phone number?
Our website is dvrcnv.org and our phone number is 775-329-4150.
Thank you both so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. Are you a business or nonprofit and want to be featured on 2+U Nevada? Have a Mom-to-Mom Monday, a Tried It Tuesday, or even a cute pic you just want to show us? The whole point of 2+U Nevada is the plus you. You can send us your content by visiting our website. Head to 2news.com and click on 2+U Nevada. Or you can email us at 2+UNevada@ktvn.com. A creative dad crafts an impressive troll costume using all eco-friendly and sustainable materials, and then uses it to troll trick-or-treaters. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at a Wisconsin dad's homemade Halloween costume crafted not just for oohs and ahs, but also a cause. Elliot Lund was tired of phoning in his yearly costumes, so this year he got super ambitious and crafted an ode not just to his hometown of Wauwatosa, but its icon Mama Rosa, a 24-foot-tall troll statue created from fully sustainable materials. Lund took a similar approach, crafting his costume almost completely from bark from his trees, sticks, and other recycled materials. 80 hours later, Lund's labor of love was ready to debut, and he took to the streets, literally trolling trick-or-treaters at an early Halloween event. He says the work was worth it to bring to life a trolley tribute that puts the eek in eco-friendly. Speaking of getting ghoulish to do some good, a teen cancer survivor in Michigan has brought back a now annual haunted house designed to help kids fighting cancer. Jackson Amick has been cancer-free since 2022 after battling leukemia and has become a renowned area Halloween hype man, hosting an annual haunted house designed not just to turn heads, but also raise money to benefit other kids fighting cancer. The fundraising Freak Fest has raised thousands, is now in its third year, and puts the caring in jump scaring. Finally, a wild Wisconsin home has become the house to see this Halloween for those not just trickin' and treatin', but plunderin' and pillagin' too. The Blackstones have been doing piratey decor since 2018, but this year's is bigger than ever and more interactive as visitors can enter the ship's spooky hull located in the couple's garage. It definitely puts the yar in creative Midwestern seasonal yard decor. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Well, that is definitely worthy of a What in the World Wednesday. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.